Hey everyone, so I'm just gonna do a follow-up here on our PulseTrend dashboard, go into a little bit more detail of what's going on and why I also think that indicators might just be old school now and dashboards or another way of looking at the market is probably gonna be the way moving forward when it comes to trading. So as we looked at a couple of things in our previous video, we're currently testing out something new over here, which is basically a scalp option. So these results are not yet clear because we haven't updated it yet, but it uses basically the 1 minute, 3 minute, 50 minute, 1 hour, all the major time frames to basically give you the best possible entry and position, but we'll go into the details when we have it figured out or up and running because we haven't had the chance to test it out yet. Now we also mentioned our SIA bot, but we're gonna go things first. So I just wanna go over the dashboard one by one. So the first thing we see here is the overall market sentiment. So this is giving a rundown based off the top 10 market coins, what the current score is. So it looks at all of these overall scores on all of these coins, and it gives you a overall stance on how the market is currently looking. If it's full bearish, neutral, slightly bullish, or fully bullish. And right now, overall it's looking bullish with a little bit side chopping. So on Bitcoin, we see we have the current trend, which is red, been going on for 9 hours, but the sentiment is bullish, but the current price action is also bearish. And as we said, more on what these individual windows mean is explained in the information box over here. So in short, this is your current trend, the higher time frame, the current status on the 5 minute, if it's oversold or overbought, how long has this trend been going on, and this is basically in the current price action on the 1 minute, right? So what is the 1 minute telling you is currently the 1 minute is unpredictable to give you a basic stance on how the market is looking. Let's say on Tron, we see we have a green trend, it's been on for 9 hours, the current price action is still bullish, but it's overbought, so it's pretty much like an indicator, right? A lot of contradicting information. But still, you see a lot more alignment when you look at the information here when it comes to indicators. I mean, when you look at indicators, just in general, you know, there's always something that can contradict your move, right? Oh, you didn't see the RSI over here cross, you didn't see the EMA over there, oh, you didn't look at this ramp, which is supposed to look at the 4 hour, you didn't pinpoint the support resistances here. But when you look at this, you just get an overall sense, a more clear sense. I mean, if I look at Tron over here, I see, okay, the sentiment is bullish, but if it's yellow, that means that the current higher time frame is overbought. But you see the current trend has gone on for 9 hours. And the current price action is bullish. So why not? I'm just gonna maybe click the chart over here. Let me just see really quickly what's going on. Okay, so I can see just based off of maybe the 4 hour. Okay, so we are bullish, and I can see this could be a pretty decent support over here. Or over here, we see, okay, we broke out of this. The current price action is still bullish, it looks healthy. All right, I'm just gonna do quick little TA, maybe put a stop loss over here and enter this trade until I see a reversal over here because currently it's telling me that it's bullish. And I see on Cardano, current trend, just switched into the red 15 minutes ago. It's unpredictable. Okay, so maybe I'll just quickly check up. How's it looking? Okay, so we got here rejection, and rejection over here. So maybe I'll enter a short. I'm gonna place a stop loss over here. Let's look at the 30. Yeah, we're getting rejected. So maybe we're gonna see a little bit more downside, but a lot of contradictions over now since the price action has been very volatile and we had a lot of breakouts. So it's hard to say, but the overall, it's easier to just look at this, in my opinion, and just do some basic TAs on your own. But like I said, we also have a couple of other options, which of course is our bot. And right now, we're looking at maybe implementing 3 bots. In our previous video, I just showed you SIA. And SIA currently is in a short position for 7 hours, which is currently in the negative. It caught this long over here, closed this short over here. Okay, so we closed 2 losses for now. It had these nice longs catch up, but if you look at the overall result it provided in these last 40 days, it's had a pretty solid, nice curvature. Ethereum has been pretty better working. It's also currently in a short position for 9 hours. Caught this nice long at this price range. The short didn't play out. Caught another couple of nice longs, and you get the drill. But the main thing is here is when you look at this win rate, right? You see it's like 48%, 47%. You see like 16 wins, 17 losses, or 16 wins, 18 losses. But what that means is that the bot, when it catches a price, the main thing here is it's not always gonna be closing at the perfect price. It's impossible to make a bot to close at the complete bottom or the complete bottom. But the main thing, the main focus of a bot is it knows when to enter and knows when to close. So when you got even like a win rate of 48, but on 3x you can get these results in like 40 days, that means it's a pretty decent bot, in my opinion. And of course, you can change around the settings. You can maybe go 5x, but you are risking the maximum drawdown. And the way SIA works is it basically combines all the major hourly time frames for them to align to enter a trade. Now, some coins work better than others on different leverages, different stop losses, and with different results. And I think I saw that Solana and Doge were like the top dogs over here. I think also Cardano wasn't bad. I mean, the way the market has been behaving these last 2 months almost, I mean, if you got these returns back based on that sideways action, I mean, this has been more than decent. I mean, 250% with 4x leverage. I mean, that's not bad, in my opinion. That's pretty great. The fact that most bots only give you, if you're lucky, like a 10% or 15% return on a yearly basis, while these have been proving to be pretty amazing. So this is just SIA, right? And SIA is best used when it comes to these top coins. So SIA is recommended for the top 10 coins by market cap. And we got another one, which is called EVA. And EVA, when you look at EVA and you open up, you see like this. Oh my god, what is this shit? Oh my god, what are you trying to sell me here? What are you showing me this? But that's why you gotta find the right settings, find the right optimizer. Right, we have the auto button right here that fetches you the best results possible, and with EVA we find out that it works best on the major shitcoins, so those big volatile assets, and it catches those moves pretty nicely. From what we saw and from what I saw, it's been pretty much killing it. So But the best recommended options with, if you leave the take profit off and you find the coins that just give you the stop loss, around here we see it's on 1x with a 12% stop loss, and leave the take profit, leave the take profit off. If you want to mess around with the leverage, okay, but it's not recommended. If EVA is more recommended for 1x with a stop loss set, and see that's got a 78% win rate, and see here we got a long in the negative, another long in the negative, but it caught those other ones nicely and a short to top it off. And maybe what's this peak? Because you see, if I click optimize, the number of trades also reduces, so it doesn't always takes all the trades, or it doesn't. Let me just, and wait, 1x. Okay, so it does. Oh my, where were we? All right, these coins keep switching up because of the gains they are mass, but let me just quickly, okay, what we're looking at. Okay. All right, let's stick with anime. So let's go here, 99 trades, okay. And so how can I explain this? So if you use a take profit point, right, so the number of trades reduce because of the take profit point, and then it doesn't close the trade until it reaches that top take profit point. But I mean, setting up a stop loss with a take profit point is really not recommended, even when you're looking bad. So it's best if you just, when you look at coins or you want to open a coin, and I also found that the 30 minutes in general works best overall when it comes to this bot, this strategy. Or if you click over here, it's more explained. It's a liquidity sweep, and I mean reversion engine. It trades only when a false breakout aligns precisely with the recent fair value gap, and it works best on 1x, but it's best if you just take profits manually or on your own, because we all know how those take profits usually work out. But this just gives you the basic rundown, and just fill around with the settings, because it has its own style of taking profits, but it's not always optimal, especially when you're trading these shit coins. But if you look at the basic statistics behind the volatility, you really gotta take your time. But with these bull bots, and just, if you want to trade shit coins, don't use SIA, use EVA, but really take your time, find the optimal settings, and if it's possible, leave the take profit off and just set a stop loss. And yeah, but EVA also has its moments on the big market comps coins. So if you look at Ethereum, we see we get like on 1x a 30% profit, but it only gives you 2 trades, so that's not good. So we take that take profit off, and we see, okay, so it took like 46 trades with a 74% win rate. If I just have a stop loss set to 2% and I leave the take profit the way the bot takes take profit, right? So that's what I mean. You gotta, not every coin, I mean, each coin has its own mentality, you should say. I mean, sure, when Bitcoin goes up, everything goes up, or not even necessarily, but each coin has its own logic, its own time frame, its own stop losses to trade it. So we try to make this as easy as it can get. And I mean, you just play around with a couple of settings. You click auto, and you take that auto optimizer and just take it for here. If you look at Ripple, okay, see on 1x 25%, but that take profit's a little bit too high, so I'm just gonna remove that. And I see, okay, I got a 5.2 return in 60 days. What if I put a 2% or maybe a 3 or 1? Okay, I got a 61%. We're in with a 2% stop loss, but what if I adjust the leverage? Okay, the leverage is not getting help. Okay, so maybe not that optimal for Ripple. Maybe if I go on the 50-minute, I click out optimize, and I see, okay, so we got 10 trades off of the 50-minute time frame with 1x. And if I remove the take profit, I get a 10% with a 10% drawdown. If I go 2x, it breaks it. Okay, so what if I do a 3, maybe 1? Okay, so the 2 is more optimal. But even the 10% return, I mean, if you just look at, all right, 1x with a 2% stop loss. All right, good enough. And let's go forward. Look at Solana. So just start on 50-minute, if we get any decent results. And we see, all right, 19 trades, 133% if I take the stop loss out. Okay, it's not that, so 10%. Okay, maybe let's try the 30-minute, click out optimize, 1.5%, okay, 2%, well, if I just go with 4, something realistic, right? So maybe 42 trades, 10% win rate. Yeah, maybe, okay, so we leave Solana alone for now. Look at Doge, okay, just 5 trades up at the 5. Okay, here we see, alright, so this gives us with a 6% stop loss and 88% win rate, 50 trades. And you see like, alright, so this is this, and let's play around with it, maybe, alright, so with 2x we get 55, 3x we're risking the rundown, so maybe not over that, so 55% return. So maybe I could just play around the stop loss. Okay, we get a 70, okay, and maybe use a 3x. Okay, and we can see, if we just play around a little bit, we see, okay, so off the 30-minute, in 60 days, we got a 69% win rate with 58 trades, 40 wins, 18 losses, and a pretty decent return with 3x leverage and a drawdown of 27%. And of course, you also have the option either to compound or just use the same amount. So if you just want to trade with $100 or always with the same amount, that's also possible. And SIA is SIA. It always gives you a nice, usually the take profit is always off with SIA. And SIA has been killing it. 4x, 28% drawdown, a 250 return, 150, 110. But those win rates are a lot smaller. But it always knows when to close us, because we know in the crypto market it's about keeping your losses small and making your winners big. So that's why this won't be that strong for forex trading, which we also thought about implementing over here, because it's still looking best overall with. Okay, so oh yeah, I also forgot to show you, there's a light mode. Oh, it looks so ugly. No, we're just gonna keep it at night mode. So that's it for now. When we have the third bot up and running, I'll be sure to do another update. And there's also another thing about, is this actually gonna be available for sale? I mean, how can you sell something like this? Because if you have a bot that's working and like 5,000 people are using it, I mean, okay, if you're just trading Bitcoin, sure, it don't affect the market that much, but it's one of those questions that we'll have to wait and see. Or maybe we're just gonna do a quick random giveaways, some sort, but for now, we're just gonna keep it as a presentation, and we'll see as we go along how this performs in real time. Bye bye.